there. And he's also got a little grid of LEDs inside there as well. And unfortunately, I couldn't get that hole to not kind of, it's all stuffed inside, so it's all got squished in. You can't really see it properly, but he's got a little smiley face, just to clarify that. Interactive. So, for instance, he's got two metal contacts on the front that are just eyelets, and if you make a contact between those, his eyes go purple, and he scrolls the message, "I love you."
Oh.
Yeah, good. So when he's done doing that, his heart starts beating again. That's how much he loves you. Literally, his heart stops beating temporarily while he has to express that. He's also got a little pocket on the front here, which is a press stud. And because a press stud is metal, you can basically use it as a switch. So if you unpopper that and open the pocket, the light comes on, and the face inside changes from a smiley face to a slightly confused face, because why are you going in my pocket? So that's there. I think there is a slightly loose connection on this, which is why that is slightly flickery. But that's that one, so if I close that, then he's happy again. And the only other thing you can do is, he doesn't like it at all if you open his entire chest cavity. You wouldn't. But that again is a press stud down here, and that is wired up so that when you open it, his eyes turn red, his heart beats twice as fast, which is nice, and he's got an angry face on the inside. So this is the CodeBug, so you can now see what's actually powering this, and my terrible stitching. But this is, it's essentially like a little, this is the point where I literally have no idea what I'm talking about, but it's like a little circuit board. It's got contacts that you can attach things to. It's got a USB port which you can use to plug it in. And not only can you plug it in to power it, but you can also plug it into your computer to program it. So you can teach it a little program, and then once you unplug it, you can either put a battery at the back of it, or you can plug it into a USB, just a power port, and it will continue to run that same program. So the program that he's currently running is How to Be a Robot, I guess, and I've wired it all up. So you can have a closer look at this at the end. I'll put it up. As I say, I probably won't use the entire session, so whatever. But you can see that I've stitched conductive thread all the way through this. Also, it was a slight kind of maths puzzle to try and fit all the threading in, because I had to go from like this side of the thing to there, and then here, and then back down to there. So the whole thing is very carefully wired so that none of the wires cross, because obviously that would be bad. But it wasn't hugely challenging to actually work out how to wire this up. So the LEDs are all part of a thing called, they're colour changing LEDs, and you basically attach them all in one big chain. So you attach I can't remember what it's called. Oh, he's gone to sleep. Wake up. There you go. You attach them all in kind of a chain, so they're all attached to each other, and then the CodeBug can understand and control each one separately. And in fact, you can tell it not only whether the light's going to be on or off, or you can use a delay and make it flash. You can also tell it exactly what colour, as in you can give it 3 RGB values. You can tell it 3 numbers for red, green and blue, and you can either use a lot of blue or use a lot of red or whatever, and you can literally make it be any colour, which was quite a lot of power when I realised I had that much control. But that's the colour I chose for his eyes. It matches my t-shirt. So yeah, so that's the kind of thing. Still true for these teddy bear hinges. I mean, they're just like 20p or something, and they're amazing. I also used quite a lot of, I cut up those flimsy chopping boards. I cut one of those up to make lots of pieces to sort of keep it sturdy. So you've got a bit of that in there. But this is Feltron. So I wanted to show you this because I made it as like a thing to show people, to say this is where you can carry on if you do this soft electronic stuff. And I also just think it's really nice that you can make something and control it with this. So if you've not seen CodeBug before as a thing, I've got essentially you get the little unit there, the CodeBug, you plug it into your computer, and then you can actually write programs using this. So this is the CodeBug website, codebug.org.uk, and the programming is very simple. So if you've ever used Scratch, it's very similar to Scratch, in that instead of having to type code, you can just drag and drop things. So I might say, let's see if I can remember how this works. So this is the 5x5 display, the little grid of dots on there, so you can control that, you can set what individual pixels are doing. You can also create a little sprite. So if I build a sprite there, I can say, okay, put these ones on, and then put these ones on. Let's do that. That's like a weird smiley face. So if I wanted to display that,
Go back to sprite.
that one, isn't it? Yeah. So I can bring that in and say, draw this sprite, zoom out by accident. And that's what it's called. It's called the colour tail. There we go. And then there's also other inputs and outputs. So the different legs on the CodeBug are each attached to each of the different metal switches and things in the poppers. So I can say, look for an input from this popper, and if it's there, then do this, and if it's not there, then do this. So it's a really nice, sort of simple programming language. I'm not I should clarify, I'm not a coder in the sense that I don't know any programming languages, but I do know how to code, if that makes sense. I can describe how you would write a program to do something, but I just don't know what the commands are to make that happen. So this is ideal for me, because I can literally just drag and drop the right things in at the right times. And yeah, I can do QBasic, and that's when I ran out of coding experience. I used to code when I was a kid, but I've not done it as an adult yet. The CodeBug also has music. It can play little tone MIDI noises, and it can control motors and servos and things. And then it's also got all kinds of nice coding stuff, so you can get repeat loops. So the heart beating is actually part of a repeat loop that repeats every second, and that each second it checks whether you've opened the thing and makes the heart beat, and it just keeps repeating that over and over again. You can also do some maths, which is nice. You can do little maths things, so you can find remainders and add things together and do different other mathematical operations. And you can also specify variables. So if you say, in fact, in the program that I've written for this, I have a variable for what its heart rate is. So that changes when you open the thing, and it tells it how long to leave the light on and off for each time it beats the heart. So I can actually vary that and change what it is. Unfortunately, because I'm massively incompetent, I didn't save the program other than downloading it onto the CodeBug. So I can't show it you on the screen, unfortunately, because I'm a complete idiot. It's on the CodeBug, but when it downloads into the CodeBug, it actually converts it into a proper program. So this is the Python script for the ridiculous program that I've just thrown together there. It didn't do anything, but it kind of converts it into, so you can look at this Python code. You can't edit it in this bit, but you can look at what the Python code would be for the kind of simple program that you put together. So that's quite nice. And yeah, I made a robot. So pleased with him. It's so good. I also have, because this is how off the cuff I made it. This is the wiring diagram. So that's what it looks like inside, and this was my little schema of what should happen when you do the various different things. So I kind of made a little set of notes of what I wanted him to do in different situations, and that's what we worked from to write the program. But yeah, so that's what I wanted to show you all. I have another 5 minutes. Tom, do you want to say anything about CodeBugs that's less incompetent than what I've been saying?